We've got your back morning, night, and afternoon. Join our family, connect with your crew. Kings FM 88.5, just for you.
Okay, you're not able to take care of Babu. You're not able to boss the right Babu.
But when I saw you standing with two crests over there, what you were discussing with them?
Hila, I was not telling them anything about loving you. I was telling them about CDC due payment.
I thought not true. I know that CDC due payment over.
No, did I? Enough finish yo. Now let me explain the whole due payment to you. That program they had on April 12th is just to tell all citizens, reaction, and simple thousands that we will start paying due for now to 2030 and all the way.
So I want to ask you, the way some all not there. How will I want you book?
Abolida, the thing is just go straight to CDC party headquarters and you request for your book. The book will give it to you. Anytime you go there, the people will be there. Don't worry yourself. In fact, the people get a mobile money number. If you file or you know you can make it, just send it straight on their mobile money number. And as soon as you send it on the mobile money number, the people will send your receipt straight on your website. Or you go pick up your receipt and your due book right to your district office. I mean, the district that you live in. You can also pay to the bank. You can go to UBA or GT Bank. When you finish paying that money, they will give you one pink paper. Then you will carry it to the party headquarters or your district office. Then the people will verify it. They will give you your original receipt and your due book. And don't forget that only $1 US or $200 liberty you will pay every month. If you won't pay more than that, no problem. Because this party called CDC have to survive. And the mobile money number is 0886 097451.
Amanda, Amanda, my puye, Iliberia, my Double
String.
Aha, y'all want it, bro. The punch of giant right to take over.
Like
Y'all want it, Robbie, Papa, come here again. Y'all want it, Rob, Papa, Georgie, come here again. Y'all want it, Rob, Mama, Joe, come here again. Who want it, Rossi, Tisha, come here again. Now they walk on treasure, yeah, come here soon. Better move, I say, you're better move, you're it's about to get away. We come here again. Who wanna roll CDC come here again? Y'all who wanna roll job, we are coming again. Who wanna roll Mama Joe, I come here again. Up in the roll CDC come here again. Now they hope for the giant coming so. Better move on and roll. Say you're better move your roll. I'm thinking of taking you away. Better get away. We come here again. We first go win the scheme. We come here again. Coalition for democratic change. Now the whole country champion is coming so. You better move on the road. I say you better
move your phone. Peace out, buddy. Get away. Good evening, wherever you are. Good morning, good afternoon. Welcome to the Wednesday edition, December 3 edition of the Cdc Hour. The Cdc Hour is a 60-minute package of activities within the Congress for Democratic Change and other issues affecting the body politics of our country. Today is Wednesday, December 3, 2025, and I'm here with my co-presenter, Josephine Pello Johnson. Together, we will be dissecting issues that have been prevailing in the country in the last 24 hours, in the last 48 hours. But we will be right back after a bit of our team song.
we'll celebrate. Where most go corridor. Go days I wanna go there. We'll celebrate. We'll celebrate. It's a beautiful day. We'll celebrate. We'll celebrate. We'll celebrate. It's a holiday, your moment. We'll celebrate.
Thank you so much and welcome back to the program. Josephine, good afternoon. I mean, good evening. Let me say good afternoon. Good evening. And it's a pleasure again to be in partner with you on the program.
Yeah, so I'd like to say good evening to you too, and good evening to our listeners via the social media and the radio.
Thanks so much. A couple of things have been happening in the country, and we decided today to discuss some of them. Where do we start? Do we start in the courtroom or do we start in
Yeah,
red
sure.
light?
I think we should start with the courtroom.
Okay. As you may be aware, the former Speaker of the House of Representatives, Councillor Jeffo Nati Kofa, Honorable Dixon, Sibu of District number 16, the Honorable Abu Kamara of District number 15, the Honorable Jacob Dibi of District number 2, Grand Jeddah County. Who again? Who again? I think it's supposed to be 5, right? Or 4?
Yeah, I think 4.
Okay, so they are currently on trial. They are on trial. They've been accused of allegedly, burning the Capitol building. Let me see that big building that was built, that was constructed in the 70s by William V.S. Tubman. Okay, but the trial has formally started after a lot of different technicalities by the prosecution, delay tactics, and what have you. But we have got to understand that the criminal court A judge, the judge presiding over the case, Judge Roosevelt Zé Willie, threw out one of the witnesses, one of the prosecution's witnesses, who is a witness from the Liberian National Police. Okay, his last name is Wilson. Okay, he had attempted doctoring one of the recordings, an audio recording. He played with the recording, and this AI thing.
Yeah, sure.
Yeah, he played with the recording in order to implicate, these lawmakers into the commission of the crime. So the defense lawyers took an exception, and they brought it directly to the attention of the judge, and the judge had to throw him out of open court. So what say you? What are your readings about that case, in fact?
I like to say this, these are the evidence they say they have, right? And months ago, we saw the very police, the LMP, they had a lot of bosses telling us that they have evidences against former Speaker Kofa.
Geospatial evidence.
Yes. And today, seeing a judge throwing a police officer outside because of what he did, this should send a signal, because we will experience more, we will see more of these things will happen. Because I always like to say this, to lie, it's very difficult, it's hard to lie. So if you lie on somebody, you lie against somebody, you know that you got to find all reasons, you got to find everything to prove that the person did this. So they are looking for evidence, they are looking for things to hold the people, and God will not allow them. So for that reason, we will see more of these things happening.
In fact, Josephine, on that fateful day of the burning of the
December
Capitol
18,
building,
right?
December 18,
Yeah.
Mr. President Buakai went to the grounds of the Capitol building and he stood there without any investigation.
So I think they should be investigating the president too.
Without any investigation, he stood there and made a bold declaration that those who burn this building will face the full weight of the law.
So it's like the president knows something. So
this case has come under immense public criticism.
Sure.
Okay, from the way it's been handled, from the way lawmakers have been handled, especially those who were on the side of the former speaker, Councillor Funati Kofa, where lawmakers were beaten in the corridor, physically assaulted by state police officers, state security officers, including the NSA, the police, and immigration, and what have you. Okay, so reaching this point now, I think there are people in the public who believe that the statement the president made on the day of the burning of the Capitol building, that people will be held accountable for burning the building, is like the security forces want to satisfy the president.
Sure.
Because the president said somebody burned the building. So in order to convince the president that somebody burned the building, they have to implicate people. And even without evidence, to doctor, videos, to doctor audio recordings, and make it to look that, like people were discussing about burning the building. So this guy was thrown out of open court by the judge of criminal court. I think on that basis, the defense counsel should be praying the court to dismiss this case.
Sure.
For the fact that the prosecution will have the guts, the temerity to tamper with evidence.
Yeah.
Because that's tampering with evidence.
Sure.
That is a crime under the law.
And this is not a small case.
And that guy should not only be thrown out, he should be prosecuted and imprisoned. Right?
Yeah.
To tamper with evidence in such a high profile case is no joke. Because you are playing with the lives of people's fathers. You are playing with the lives of people's representatives that were elected by thousands of people, tens of thousands of people. Let's take, for example, Dixon Sibo, right? Abu Kamara, Jacob Dibi, Funati Kofa, the former speaker, right? Those guys were elected by universal suffrage of by hundreds of thousands of people combined, right? You're playing with them, you're playing with their lives. Right, and we are hearing in the corridor that if they should be found guilty, which is not going to happen, they could possibly forfeit their seats.
Yeah.
Right? They could have new elections to fill in the void, that will be left by them. So if with all of these such strings attached to this case, and then the government is tampering with evidence in order to find them guilty, I think on that ground, the defense counsel should pray the court to dismiss this case, and these people should be set free, because it is not only bad, but it is criminal. It is criminal. Why would Gregory bring somebody to tamper with the evidence? So it means that most of the pieces of evidence they are being abusing in court, the prosecution, they are being evidence tampered with, and this should not be taken lightly.
Some of them were manufactured.
And the judge has been very lenient in allowing some of these pieces of evidence to pass through the screening process.
Yeah.
Which he should not have allowed, right? But at this stage of the case, I think it should be thrown out of the window and never to even see open court. Such a case should not even have seen open court, because the prosecution has failed to provide evidence. And I have followed Councillor Augustine Fayard, the Solicitor General of the Republic.
Okay.
And all of his arguments have been very flimsy about this case. He's taken arguments from Pluto and correlating it with current day realities. Okay, I think the government the government is going to lose this case, but I think the real thing is that the government is so ashamed that they don't want to drop this case, because dropping this case now will have a huge implication on the reputation of the government. But they don't have anything, Jojo.
They don't have anything.
They don't have anything. But at this point, for the government to come out and say, we don't have evidence to forward this prosecution, right? Do you know what it will mean? And Funatikov and others will be asking for a reparation. They will be suing the government because their reputation, both locally and internationally, has been tinted.
Do you know that one of the guys who was accused of being one of the person who put the fire in the building, I don't know whether it is a Kurish guy, but his mother, she grieved. That lady grieved for months. She died and her son was unable to see her. You remember the guy
talking about Tom Ettridge?
Yes.
Thomas Ettridge.
Yes.
Thomas Ettridge's mother died.
Yes. So that lady grieved for her son. She grieved every day until she died. And her son was not able to see her.
Yes, and his lawyers put in, his lawyers wrote the Ministry of Justice for compassionate leave, right, to go and bury his mother. And the Ministry of Justice refused.
Yeah.
His mother died. He did not see his mother's body. She was buried. She's now under the ground. And government still continue to play with the case. And recently, I think 24 hours ago, the prosecution wrote the judge, right? They filed to the judge that they wanted to include one other representative in the case. The representative of district number 12, the guy Jerry K. Yogbo.
Jerry Yogbo, yeah.
The prosecution said they wanted to include Jerry Yogbo on the raid, right? So, and the judge refused. The court said no, because the defense fought it. The defense fought that, and it did not happen. So, I think the government is losing ground, or the government has lost grounds already in this case. And there should be no reason why this case should even proceed. There should be no reason for a procession of this case, because the government has nothing. They have no evidence. They continue to play delay tactics. They continue to filibuster. Because once they don't have...
Permit me to disagree with you a bit. I believe the government know who burned the building.
Yes, they know. They know who burned the building.
They know. But they are just trying to put the blame on another people, right? They know what happened. They know how it happened, because they were in the position. They took charge of the building that whole time.
Yeah, the police was...
Yes.
The police was in possession of the building.
They were in possession.
The entire structural complex of the Capitol
building
was in fact a cordon.
Yeah.
A CORD.
No stranger was allowed on the ground.
CORD cordon.
Yeah.
In a military term, we say cordon. It means you take siege.
Yeah.
Okay, of the whole place was cordoned.
Yeah.
By the police, right? And Gregory Coleman, who's the Inspector General, had a media chit chat and said the police was in complete control of the building.
Yeah, he said it.
Both the entrance and the exit.
And the exit, yeah.
Everywhere. In fact, the Capitol Building police, the Capitol Building security, not police, but the Capitol Building security was seconded
Yeah.
to the Liberia National Police in that instance. So, meaning the LNP took preeminence
Yeah.
of the building. So, if anything happened, there should be something called situation report.
Sure.
The commander in charge of the building that night should have provided a situation report to his bosses. And the police should, in fact, be a part and parcel of this, of a criminal investigation to find probable cause. Right? But that did not happen. They only went and rounded a group of, lawmakers and other people's children who have spent over 10 months behind bars. They have spent over 10 months behind bars, including John Yanti,
Yeah.
Kivi Bar, Thomas Ettridge, Eric Suze, Christian Kofa, Andrew Lawson. In fact, Andrew Lawson was flown out of the country by international partners. He was examined by a very certified medical institution, and the result was that he
was tortured, right?
was tortured
Yeah.
and was also sodomized
Yeah.
while in the custody of Liberian security forces. Right? So, if all of these things will happen to people who are under the custody of Liberian security forces in a given case, I think it is nothing to joke with, because these guys are brutal, they are wicked, the government is heartless, and they can do anything because they have done already everything.
So they can do anything to get what they want. They wanted the speakership, and they did what they believed they could do to have Funanti out.
So that is that. In red light. A week ago, there was a land dispute that has been raging on for years. Okay, the court ruled in favor of one of the families, and the other family allegedly refused to vacate, and police went there to enforce the eviction order. But when they went there, just as regularly as it has been, the police allowed Liberian citizens who were very angry to manhandle other people. Okay, that should not have happened.
Sure.
Okay, again, in the same red light. Today, we understand that officers of the Pinsville City Police, the Pinsville City is being led by my good friend and brother, who was assistant minister at the Ministry of Internal Affairs, Robert Bestman.
Oh, okay.
Robert Bestman is the city mayor of Pinsville. So the Pinsville City Police had gone, according to them, to enforce city ordinance. And while in that, they got into a scuffle with some marketers, including a pregnant woman who was severely manhandled by one of the city police officers named Buakai. I think that's the name I know.
Yeah, Buaka.
Buakai. His last name is Buakai. His last name is Buakai. And the lady went unconscious. She was earlier believed to be dead. Okay, until she was taken to the hospital, and medical practitioners fought the process, and she regained some consciousness and going through medical treatment. But if we should sum it up, if we should sum this up, what does it mean? What does it occur? What does it reflect
This is
on
not
the security
this is
of our
not
country?
good. This is not good at all. And this is not the first time, since this government came to power, every time is another police brutality, right? Every time the police is doing this, they are doing that. Today incident is so heartbreaking because a woman,
Not,
for a man
not
to even
only a
go
woman.
into a fist fight with a woman.
not only a woman, a pregnant woman.
So I'm just saying,
A woman who's
to
carrying
even
a child in her
consider
stomach.
that she's pregnant and you beat on her. I was told he stepped in her stomach. Wow.
And this is not an isolated situation. On the
Yeah.
old road, at the old road depot, right? A police officer killed
Sure.
a
yes.
pregnant woman, beat
Another
a pregnant woman to
yeah.
death.
Another pregnant
Today,
woman.
he's not in police custody.
He's not.
He's not in the prison. This Pittsfield City police officer has done his. If it is not in Kinjor, where peaceful citizens, unarmed citizens are gunned down, then it is in red light, or it is at one.
And this is not good for our country.
This is not good for the country.
It's not.
This is not good for the country. The country just recently failed rule of law
Sure.
on the MCC scorecard. Right? We failed the rule of law because of these kinds of situations. So if these kinds of horrible undertakings by state security forces continue, one day it could just blow up into a full-scale, a full-scale scuffle that could turn into a very, uncalled for situation, and it could have serious consequences
Yeah.
for the entire nation. Because this is how some of the insurgencies that came around started, right? Because the people are not stupid. The people are conscious enough.
And they will get tired.
They can get tired. There's a cutoff point. There's a cutoff point for everything. You push people to the limit, sometime they come back. And when they come back at you, it gets very, very difficult. It becomes very, very consequential to the nation. Becomes consequential to the nation.
To run a country is not an easy thing, right?
It's hard, though.
To run a country is very different from running a campaign. When you are running a campaign, you want to do everything possible to win that campaign, right? Sometimes you do bad things, sometimes you do good things to win that campaign. But when you are running a country, you run that country in the interest of the people, in the interest of your citizens, meaning your citizens come first. The good of the citizen is what you will be looking at. Your main focus will be your people. How to take them from poverty. But this government, and I always say this, they are still in campaign mood. They think that 2029 is tomorrow. So they want to do everything possible to win election.
But
And this is not how you will run the country.
But Liberia is not going to end after
It's
2029.
not ending 2029.
Liberia is not going to end
Yes.
after Joseph Boakai. Right?
Yeah.
And did you listen to the president yesterday in Topmanburg? The president held another cabinet meeting yesterday. I think the 16th or the 17th cabinet meeting in 2 years. Right? The president highlighted the unprofessionalism of the entire security forces.
Yeah.
He said the security forces are very unprofessional and they should exercise caution. They should exercise caution. And it is not a coded message.
Sure.
It is a decoded message from the president that should reach directly to the high command of security forces, including the police, the immigration, the because when the president will go about to speak in such a manner, it means it has gone overboard.
Yeah.
It means it has gone overboard. The infringement on the rights of the citizens they're supposed to protect is too alarming. The infringements are too alarming to the extent that the president has got concerned. And it is not that the president is concerned so he's good.
No.
No, he's not good because they are working for him.
Yeah.
It is he they are working for. And so some of the actions the president should be taking is not to go and say the security forces are very unprofessional, when in fact he's suspending and dismissing other people for alleged corruption, though without prosecuting them. They're stealing the money and carrying it. But the president should be taking practical actions to dismiss head of security agencies who have not had control over their men in the field. That's what the president should be doing. The solution is not for the president to go sit in Topmanberg at a cabinet meeting and say the security forces are unprofessional. No, that is not the solution. The solution here is for the president to take not necessarily similar action against ministers or directors of government ministries and agencies, but the president should be dismissing or suspending high commands of security institutions for not having control over their men. Because in the criminal justice system, it says they have something they call respondent superior. The respondent superior is whatever the underman does, whatever your underman does, you take responsibility for the action of what your underman will do in the field. So the president should be taking action on heads of security agency, like Gregory, like Nelson Freeman, right?
Yeah.
Like this guy from immigration, the Dixon Tamba there from the immigration, like Elijah Rufus, the head of immigration and thing, right?
Yeah.
They are the ones the president should be taking action against, because once they set the standard, it's gonna work. These things do not happen many times in isolation, right? They happen because they are condoned by the high command.
Sure.
Once the high command of the security agencies do not condone these reckless and preposterous actions on the part of their agents in the field, they will not happen.
Sure.
Okay? So if the president means well, right, he should be taking action. Though the president cannot directly fire the director of the Princeville City Police. No, it is the city mayor. The city mayor of Princeville. What the guy in my own friend, man? It is the city mayor of Princeville who has the authority, to take action against these guys. But once they are not happening, it becomes very difficult for them to,
So during former president, we had Regine, we had people selling on the streets, right?
Yes.
We had people protesting. But what we are experiencing today, we didn't experience it. Yes, because the police behave so professionally that they were not beating people on the streets. We saw Was it June 7 protest?
Yeah, June
Yeah,
7.
June 7 protest.
What Patrick Suru, who was Inspector General Police, what he called democratic policing.
Yeah.
In fact, that was the entire. I mean, that was the entire policy, reached by the police high command, right, to institute to public,
Yeah.
whether disobedience or public outcry,
Sure.
democratic policing. So when people are protesting, the police move in, gave them water, cook rice,
We saw it.
we saw it on
Yeah.
June 7. They were fed.
Yeah.
The police took along with them plates, spoons, right? Water.
They were all laughing, taking pictures
people
with
who
the
were
police.
protesting
Yeah.
against the government.
Yeah.
They were standing in lines to be fed by the very police,
By the police,
who
yeah.
had gone to restore order,
Yeah.
to protect them, to protect their lives, and to protect their properties. Right? So Patrick Suru called that democratic policing. And it worked. It worked, right?
Sure.
It worked.
It worked. Yeah.
But under Gregory Coleman, the police is brutal. And because of that, do you know how many people have died in the custody of the police? Do you know how many people have died while the police launching operation, in communities, let's say like in Joe, in Banjo, ELWA, and what have you? Too many citizens have died under the caprices of the Liberian National Police. And I think it is wrong, because when it comes to law enforcement, the police is the first in line, because they should be our friends directly,
Sure.
who we should carry cases to. Right? We can carry cases to the AFL people
No.
from the community. We don't take cases to immigration. We don't take cases to fire service. The first people in line in terms of law enforcement that are directly connected to the police, that are directly connected to the community, are the police. I'm seeing Ibrahim V. Nye is watching, right? He's writing a live on our Facebook Live. Samuel S. Lewis, all of them are watching live. So I think the police will have to change gear. What we call they have to change their modus operandi. Their modus operandi, or their SOP, standard operating procedures. They need to change that. So what again?
Okay, yeah. So the president and the vice president, the
Yes.
for job.
About the job.
Yeah.
The vice president recently at a program made a bold declaration that the government has not been able to create jobs. The Liberian government, which he and President Boakai preside over, has not been able to create jobs for the young people.
And those were the promises they made.
And
to
those were the
people.
promises they made to the
Yeah.
people who will create jobs. Job, we are not creating jobs. Job, we are this, that.
And I just like the way the people used to say job will waste.
Job will waste. Companies are coming.
NGO
People
will
are going to be
waste.
getting 2 jobs, 3 jobs. NGOs are wasting. Look,
Yeah.
this is not post-war, the first post-war recovery period. This is not the time. During President Ellen Johnson Sirleaf's time, in 2006, when she took over, there were enormous international goodwill that came to Liberia, because Liberia was a hot spot. We had just come from war. We needed urgent recovery. So NGOs, the international community, various countries sent their development agencies, USAID, the French Development Agency, Danish Aid, Norwegian Aid, all of those people were here. Do you know why they were here? They were here to see to it that Liberia recover from many years of horrific civil war, horrible civil war that took the lives of hundreds of thousands of our compatriots. So those international goodwill, when they came, right, people got jobs because those agencies had to employ people. They needed people to work, and people applied. They were vetted. They were employed. They worked. They made money. UNMIL came. 16,000 UN peacekeepers descended on this country. UN Civil Affairs, they employed people. UNMIL Radio was here, right? They rented buildings from, estates. At United Nations, the one UN, they rented a lot of buildings, put money in the pockets of people. But when the UNMIL mandate, when the UN mandate, the UN peacekeeping mandate, in fact, when they ended, those resources got dried. People who were renting buildings to UN people, they could not get money again. And some of those buildings are today dilapidated.
Sure.
Nobody is taking them.
Yeah.
So they're not getting the money. People who were employed, even my father-in-law, right?
Yeah, most of them.
Even my father-in-law was working with UNMIL. When they drew down, he had to lose his job, So, and a lot of different people who had jobs with the UN system today, they are not working, except some of them doing these small hustles around, sustaining themselves and their families, So, rescue people thought that what happened during Ellen time,
yeah, it was going
that
to
is
happen.
same thing that was going to happen. And Ellen is her own woman. Ellen is her own woman. She struggled for it. To a larger extent, she struggled for it. Before she could become president, she had enormous international contacts. Some of those contacts, when she became president, they descended on the country right away. They came to help her. There's something called Talk 10, TOCTEN. It's a UN program. Talk 10, where the United Nations will send experts to come and work for the government, to set up the government. There are technicians sent by the UN to come and take various technical positions in the government to put the country on track. But it is the UN that paid them. One of my uncles was a member of the Talk 10 system. They came, he worked at the Ministry of Commerce. From there, he went to the Ministry of Foreign Affairs and worked. He was paid by the UN. In fact, he worked when Madame Olubanki King Akerel was Minister of Foreign Affairs. He worked. That program is not here again. It's not here again. People, so a lot of people do not have jobs. So the president re-echoed the vice president's concern. He said, we have not been able to create jobs. So the government is failing on that. So who are we to say that?
When the president and the vice president have said it already, President Puaka got his contacts. He got his friends, right? And I believe those were some of the people he was actually hoping on. He got his contacts in Sierra Leone. He got some of his friends in Foya County to be,
Foya County?
How you call it? Foya, Lofa County.
My begin say Grand Foya County, Grand Kema County, Grand Foya County.
So, and by the way, my mother is on Tama or in Foya.
Tama?
Yeah.
That's Arab Bandi or Loma?
Kisi,
right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. So he got his friends in Foya and he got his friends in Sierra Leone. He was actually hoping on them that they will help him bring, NGOs and things in the country to create jobs. But again,
does Sierra Leone have investors?
Yeah.
So that's Sierra Leone investors?
Sure.
Okay, and we don't have much time, Josephine, I think. So if you are listening to the show, you are listening to the CDC Hour on Kings FM 88.5. And you are watching live via the Kings FM Facebook page. You can now begin to place your calls on 0772 239933086 304497 or 0777980375. We are here to take your calls. We have the first caller. Josephine, please take our first caller.
Yes. Hello.
Yeah, Josephine, actually, how you doing?
We okay.
Yeah, this is just Status Security. I'm the factor for Operation CDC National Hurricane.
Okay.
Isaka, the incident you're just explaining, if you can listen to my voice, it happened right in front of me in real life.
Wow.
Isaka, I cry to be I cry my apple almost came outside. I said it happened right in front of me, and I tell you, they say, I can sell in the world. I sell fish, beef, and other things. I went to buy. When I got right up on that road, I decided to buy soap in the wheelbarrow. So I bought the soap, trying to go down to pass near the police place there. I saw this fellow calling rain that they needed the quarter who were calling. I saw the woman close in his hands. The one had a black button with white t-shirt. The next thing I saw is Shaka. Before I could reach there, he waited the woman selling photo. He waited the woman photo in the box. The hand of the woman and said, "Why you wasted my fish?" He said, "I don't save the boost." No, before me and boy said they stick in the woman's stomach. If you want waste it, I want the living waste it. When it happened, I called Abraham. Right away, asked Abraham, I called him, I was crying on the scene. The woman fell in the water. The fellow took his own son. He walked and stood up next to their boots on the motorbike for hours while the police was crying. That one police officer brought Keke. That had to put over the carry the woman.
Wow.
So it happened right in front of Ishaka. I'm never wasted to it. He said that the people will kill all of us before
And Charles said that day before yesterday, the police and the city police, a Pittsburgh city police officer were fighting.
Yes.
They got into a fight, right?
Yes.
In the same real life.
They won't happy right in front of my watchful eyes. Ishaka, but in our speech, the man is telling Baka saying with this with the devil. So every time the devil needs blood, they have to kill us. Anything. That is downstream.
It's heartbreaking, man.
Yeah. Thank you very much.
God, let the empire commit you over and let our president come back, Ishaka. Lord, thank you for the show. That they cannot come over ourselves. Not justice for the poor. Give me the one has that. Not to account on Ishaka. Thank you, Ishaka.
Thank you.
Thank you. Yes, hello. You are live.
Hello. That's not what I say.
I'm Pepe, how you doing?
I'm trying this. They are the chapter very issue. So what did they put about our children now? Did I get evidence or why they get evidence? The children, yeah. 3 months now. What is say about it?
They will put it outside, my Bessie. Did I get evidence?
They will put it outside.
Did I get evidence?
Yeah. We'll take your trial, huh? I got some young. They go pressure. They go out outside. And they will pay that cash. The thing not going up and let that up in it. Well, this is what they put on up with children that over the almost 1 year. They stop this class and tie with the left. Stay up to now. They get evidence. They get it. That is man. I see a person who got it. Chapter of it. They say coming daily. Who wanted to coming daily? These people, the government, swear behind there. Swear for the head and the feet. But I fight the head. The upper one and the feet. We will swear that every day. You're talking children.
Yes, hello, you are live.
Good evening, Josephine. Good evening, Shaka. City Papi calling.
Good evening, CDC Pape, how you doing?
All right. And you?
Yeah, I'm okay.
Okay, thank God. Me, I don't want to call Joseph Aga his people name. Only thing I get tonight to tell Bravo Yake Korba sorry for what happened to him. I sympathize with him. Therefore, may his mind rest in peace. Thank you.
Okay, thank you, Papi.
Yeah.
Yes, you are live.
Hello.
Yes, you are live on
I'm
the show.
Tomo calling from Grand Bassa.
Okay.
Yeah, the thing we brought the thing upon ourselves. We invite children again here. They can feed it. The poor that man, he get no friend, bro. No friend he get, bro. Besides several of the guy who. You really ask the Foya to take the straight to that man out from Foya. Not from Foya. They talking of hustle here, they talking of hustle today because of jealousy. The man on top of thing now. So he will block the library post. So I'm not that feeding. So who really say he is a man of God? He just feeding. You will not be doing such a thing. You will look at the thing, the kind of what the police are doing. If they are very evil, then you look at that kind of thing and you still backing it as a leader. You have to be doing such a thing in a country are peaceful. You kind of thing will go with you. President post a president and they are running. You get 10% to buy for you for a day, so not 2% buy for you. See the kind of thing will go with you. Eh? Because nobody said it far. The business post who can bring the business they're not doing nothing well now. It's not easy for them to bring business for us. Yeah, thank you, man, for the topic.
Okay, thank you. Yes, hello, you are live? Okay. So, Mr. Sheriff, so you listen to the callers, and what's your view on?
Yeah, it's just a pathetic situation that we are in. The country is in. We are in a mess, and we are in this for the next 4 years because elections have consequences.
Yeah.
We should tell our people elections have consequences. The consequences of election depends on who you will elect and what will come out of it.
Okay, yes, hello, you are live, and this is our last call.
Yeah, good evening, Ishaka.
Good evening, how you doing?
Yeah, and good evening to Josephine. Well, my name is Mohammed Donzo Fafana Jr. I joined the conversation from the Somali draft, the Vitasis Alamuna Fajo. Well, Ishaka and Jojo, well, my disappointment is go to the House of Representatives. What Mr. Buaka and his lieutenant are doing, and even extending to the House of Representatives concerning Mr. Yake Koluba, Honorable Yake Koluba, Moral Death, a Speaker of the House, did not even, take a phone and call Mr. Yake, even though that's why the political differences. This is death. It may likely happen to you tomorrow. But the way the country is proceeding, really, Ishaka, these people are not running our country properly. They are running our properly indirectly. So I just want to get in a caveat. They are not more than us. We already have a citizen. We all run these people. But these are our country, we don't want to go through, other things. And that's the reason why most of the citizens just keep inquiring. Saying that 2029, even though 2029, but we are citizens who put this problem to us. How can somebody come and say they were living alone, destroying everything, and then it go under the rain? People were sick and people were not pressing. They mislead for us. So thanks for the show, and thanks to the people on board Lower County.
Okay, so thank you for your contribution. Okay, so over to you, Mr. Sheriff.
So, like I was saying, right? That's the kind of situation we are in, right? We are in it for a long haul. We are in it for the next 4 years. You have a caller?
Yes, okay, so
okay,
let's just
take your caller.
Hello, how you doing?
This is Peter Kalam because I'm touching the Westman.
Okay, so finally you are last caller.
But we'll pray for this country right now.
Okay.
This country is on time bomb. Don't pray for this country.
Thank you for the program. I'm Peter Carlos, Council of West Point. Thank you.
Okay, thank you for your contribution.
So we are in it for a long haul, and we are going to endure it. The Liberian people, I know them, right? There are people who are not talking. It doesn't mean that they're not angry. They're very angry, but they will endure it, and elections will be 2029. The people, some people have decided not to just talk anymore. They will they are keeping their anger, they are managing their anger, their agony until 2029.
Yeah, they are waiting to take their anger to the
and
pass.
the very government, by 2027, 2028, they will come out now with friendship. They will come out with friendship. Some of them, they will get to the communities now with money. Yeah, bags of rice, to pretend as though they love you, but they will only want your vote to re-elect them, then they start suffering you again. So, and the people are quite aware of that. The people are not stupid, Josephine. They are going to make sure they're going to manage that until elections time. Some of our friends, even we in opposition, some of our friends have decided, they don't talk to us like that again, But Liberia is one country. Governments go, governments come. The country remains. We will be here. So the only thing I can say about my parting comment is that the people will have to be careful. You will have to be careful. Be your own security, right? Because right now, security people that should be, providing protection for you, they are the ones, they are the very ones, harming you. They are the very ones kicking pregnant women in stomach. They're the very ones, trigger happily gunning people down, killing them, shooting them. They are the very people who are torturing people, who are sodomizing people while they are in the custody of security forces. But again, it is the Liberia we have. It is the Liberia we have now, but we're going to endure it until that time. But we'll be here every time. We will be here every time. So, Joseph, I think that's what I can say.
Okay.
You can wrap up your program.
Yes. So thank you for your parting comment. And I also like to, to emphasize on what the president and the vice president said concerning the issue of jobs. The president, this government is not creating jobs for the Liberian people. That they are rather beating peaceful citizens that are on the streets selling just to, be able to provide food for their families. The police, this government, they are beating on you. They are telling you, you don't have the right to eat. You don't have the right to send your child to school. You don't have the right to pay your rent. Because if they cannot create job, they cannot create the opportunity for you to work and earn money for yourself. You find an opportunity yourself, go on the streets, go in the markets to sell, and they stop you, they beat on you every day, they take your market to the extent that they are even killing you. It means a lot, and it sends strong signal that we all should be our own security. We all should protect ourselves because they are not protecting us. So, on that basis, again, I'd like to call on each and every one of us. Come December 17, stand up. Make your voice heard on that day. Be part. Encourage your friends. Encourage your family. Come that day. Call your government to order. Tell your government to lead or leave. Because a government who cannot lead its own citizen is not capable of serving that country. So again, I'd like to say thank you very much for your time. Thank you for your contribution, those that called on the show. And again, we'll be here every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday. So Friday we'll be here to provide you all of the necessary information. Thank you very much.
Politician, we put in your on the ground. CDC, Fini, take it. We party, you can see it. John, man, we are. Joe, how I tell her.